Revitalized, Vegeta feels though he is bursting with power, yet calm at the same time. Thanking Korin and turning down his offer for a few senzu beans, he turns his attention back to the Saiyan. Stretching and yawning, Kakarot tells Vegeta that he likes that look in his eyes. Dashing towards each other, both appear to have made their mark. It's obvious that Vegeta has improved, but he still doesn't appear to have surpassed him. He is, however, proving much more of a match. Landing a haymaker on the Galactic Warrior, Kakarot can't help but smile. Powering back up, the fight continues, putting on an electrifying show. Both warriors take several hits. Kakarot seems to have lost his mind as he yells that this is the fight that he's been waiting for. The battle between the two wore on. Both sides were now evenly matched for the first time. Soon, the feelings of hatred towards one another became that of respect. Back on the lookout, Kame fears that Kakarot is still holding back something. Vegeta powers up as a Saiyan tells him his power level must be over 20,000 by now. Kakarot beefs up, shedding his armor before unleashing a technique Vegeta can't even identify. Finding its mark, Vegeta flies backwards before recovering and returning fire, of which Kakarot easily evades. Firing a key barrage of his own, Vegeta takes the blast head on without taking any damage by forming a barrier, but it appears to have just been a ruse by Kakarot to get behind the prince, taunting him. Vegeta once again seems to be outmatched as he's unable to get a hit on the invader. Kakarot suddenly drops his guard, but Vegeta doesn't know how to approach this. Losing patience, Kakarot resumes the offensive on our hero. Kame states that Kakarot is used to adapting to the heat of battle due to his low combat power from birth. Vegeta, on the other hand, was born gifted and has breezed through all of his fights. Flying to the ground below, Vegeta once again picks himself from the dirt. Vegeta knows what Kakarot's doing, but he's simply unable to keep up fundamentally. Dodging a few ki blasts, the prince falls for the Saiyan's trap and is again sent downward. Kakarot then joins him. Vegeta knows that if he can't speed up, this fight will soon end. Remembering back to watching Krillin struggle against Master Roshi, he heeds his own advice. Calming himself down, he sharpens his focus on the fight. Kakarot moves in and Vegeta is finally able to dodge. Going back for more, they rock the surrounding area with a shockwave. Even Kame doesn't fully understand what just happened. Trying to beat him at his own game, Vegeta fires dozens of ki attacks at a short range. Eventually, the Saiyan leaves himself open. Vegeta's able to get into kick before firing a Gala gun at the fleeting Saiyan, who promptly disarms the blast. This time, remembering Popo's advice, Vegeta gets in another savage blow. Kakarot tries to regroup, but the tenacious prince is on the attack, keeping him on his toes. Relishing in the challenge, Kakarot demands Vegeta continue to show him what he's got, before mutually landing hits. Just as it appears Vegeta may have closed the gap once more, Kakarot smiles and tells the prince that his punches lack power, before sending him flying backwards. Kakarot begins to charge his ki, and it looks like he may want to end this with one final energy struggle. Vegeta knows that if he doesn't defend this blast, the entire Earth is surely doomed. As he prepares to deliver his counterattack, he thinks about all the friends he's made on this planet. Kakarot notes that Vegeta isn't about to use his famous Gala gun. Instead, he charges a Kamehameha. Laughing at the thought of Vegeta using a low-level Earth technique, Kakarot fires downward as Vegeta returns a blast of his own. The beams collide into the shock of the alien invader. This puny Earth attack seems to be holding its own. But once more, Kakarot has an ace in the hole, saying that his attack has a second stage to it, and it becomes obvious that the Saiyan has the upper hand. Korin shouts to Vegeta that he hasn't used all his power yet. As things begin to look more and more grim, he summons the last of his strength for his friends, wife, and son. With this, for the first time we see fear in the Saiyan's eyes as the Kamehameha overtakes him and explodes in the atmosphere. It looks like Vegeta has won. Shouting out to the planet, proclaiming his victory, Vegeta couldn't be more elated. Unfortunately, he doesn't seem to be able to move much from the spot he's lying. Korin comes on over and gives him a senzu, as the prince is still trembling with excitement. The fight shows itself not to be over as the Saiyan comes landing back down from the sky. Tired, but in no way finished, Vegeta tells Korin to find some cover. Vegeta still refuses to take the senzu bean, letting his pride stand on its own. The battle becomes greatly less acrobatic as the two warring warriors get into a knife-edge deathmatch, merely standing and punching each other to see which is the toughest. But Vegeta notices Kakarot's speed is suffering. Vegeta gets in more and more hits on the invader. It seems the last Kamehameha may have done him in after all. But no matter how much damage he delivers, the Saiyan seems to be enjoying himself more and more. Remembering his training with Roshi, he knows that if he changes his stance, it may force his enemy to do the same, leaving himself open for just a moment. Changing it up, he seems to have thrown off Kakarot, as he thought he had already seen everything Vegeta had to offer. Dashing ahead, Vegeta was right. Kakarot leaves himself wide open for a flurry of attacks before Vegeta moves in for the kill with a point-blank Kamehameha. But he's gassed out. As he falls to the ground, Kakarot thinks about his childhood and the hurdles he had to pass living with Nappa and his brother. Catching his balance as Vegeta's caught celebrating too soon, he lands a rip shot on the prince, in all likelihood breaking a few bones. Even with the injury, Vegeta won't go down quietly. The Saiyan's ferocity shows no bounds as he gets in a direct hit to Vegeta's nose. The The prince drops like dead weight. Going on a monologue, Kakarot tells Vegeta that as much raw talent as he possesses, it was never enough to win this battle because he's never fought for his life and doesn't know what it means to give his entire soul to win. As Kakarot begins to count down, Vegeta struggles to stand but ultimately cannot. With no final words, Kakarot goes in for the finishing blow, but it does nothing. Laughing hysterically, Vegeta demands to know why he didn't kill him, to which he replies it's because he's the first one to make him feel this alive, and in true Goku fashion, says it would be a waste to kill him. Korin gives them both a senzu bean to heal up, sensing Kakarot won't try anything. Vegeta asks if he's going to try to fight him again, but Kakarot has something much more interesting in mind and asks the prince to leave the planet with him. Asking why he would want to do that, the Saiyan further explains that there is a creature hundreds of times stronger than he and many more powerful foes in the universe. Shocked, Vegeta asks Kakarot if he's even that strong, and compared to some, he's average at best. Still unsure, Vegeta asks why he would want to travel with his enemy, because that creature that's hundreds of times stronger than him is the one that wiped out their people. We're shown a recap of the destruction of planet Vegeta as Kakarot tells him that he watched his home turn to dust in the void of space. Seeking vengeance, he asks Vegeta once more to join him. Looking for advice from Korin, he's told that only he can make this decision. Excited, he accepts the challenge and joins his former enemy. Kakarot tosses him a scouter, and to his surprise, he accidentally calls Bulma with it. The two sort things out as Vegeta explains his reasons for leaving. He gives the scouter back to the Saiyan as the pods arrive. Vegeta bids Korin farewell before launching into space, leaving the old master to ask, honestly, was he dropped on his head as a child?